Welcome to This Is My Architecture. I'm Todd, and today we're in New York City. Here joining me is Kiril from Mission. Kiril, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Mission does?
Absolutely. So at Mission, we help our customers architect, migrate, manage, and optimize their workloads in AWS.
And I have a funny feeling we'll be talking about an AWS architecture here on the board.
Absolutely.
Can you walk me through a little bit about what we have here architecturally?
Sure. Today I wanted to talk about one of our customers, Your CallFootball, where they built an application that managed real football games, and the coaches would select a package of plays from a mobile app on the sidelines, would then get sent into a REST API, which then sends that out to all of the users who are playing on their mobile phones, which then they select or vote on one of those plays. The winning play gets actually played on the field.
Very, very cool. So a true gamification of the fan experience in order to call certain plays, see if what you did was right, and actually interact with the thought process of the coaches out there.
Definitely, yes.
Kind of feel like I'm playing John Madden and selecting a certain formation in a play out there. So can you tell me about architecturally what the flow looks like? So after the voting takes place and the traffic pattern comes in from the application load balancers, I see here we have Elastic Container Service for Kubernetes, or EKS.
That's right. So we leveraged Kubernetes for all of the microservices that needed to manage the game and the scoring and all of the different aspects of the user management. And so the REST API talks to the REST Kubernetes set of containers. The voting has another set of containers or pods inside of Kubernetes. And so Kubernetes is really the linchpin of the whole architecture.
Okay, great. And being a relatively newer service that was released mid-2018, did you guys migrate to Kubernetes? Were you working with COPS on AWS before that?
Absolutely. So the first set of games actually occurred at the beginning of 2018. That was before EKS was available readily. So we leveraged COPS to deploy Kubernetes on EC2, and so that required us to manage those master nodes and scale it out independently.
Okay, great, great. So how many services are running within your Kubernetes cluster?
We've got about 9 microservices, and they all scale independently and have different sort of resource utilization across the EC2 instances that we're leveraging worker node pools differently for each of the types of application that I mentioned.
Okay, great. So how are you guys, it's very interesting. I just want to know how you guys are using CubeCuddle and pushing the manifest file over to the EKS cluster.
Right, so we have a Jenkins service that we've created that allows for a number of things. One is that deployment, so it's using Helm and Tiller to variabilize the deployment YAML and manifests to manage each of those containers, allows the developers to push button deploy into the production environment and all of the different environments that we've created with Terraform, and also allows the developers to scale up and down before and after games, so that that's really the only time we need the heavy infrastructure.
Okay, and giving them the flexibility of choice with the open source tools and leveraging Helm for the templates. Talk to us a little bit about what's happening with SQS here.
Sure. So the voting and REST applications feed the queue, which then has a number of other microservices like the scoring and gaming, which picks up all of that information and feeds it back into the EKS services, which help manage each of the game scoring and all of the different aspects of maintaining the information for the users. The head-to-head component. There's also a prize if you get the most points at the end of the game.
Great. So how are you guys tracking or storing this type of information that's happening during the game with the fans, leveraging the app and the different things that are happening?
So each of the sessions gets stored into Elasticache, and there's a reason for that too, because we had some bottlenecks on the database without the cache in front of it. So that alleviated a lot of the pressure on the database side.
Okay, great. So fronting your data store with an actual caching layer itself.
Yeah.
Very cool. And again, I love the gamification aspect from a fan experience perspective. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
And thank you for watching This Is My Architecture.